Hi everyone, this is definitely not a video I thought I would ever be making, but these are unprecedented times. Over the last few weeks I've spoken to many of you and I've felt the heartache, the devastation that you're feeling having to close your studio. I've been filming dance concerts for over 20 years now, and in that time I've learned that your studio is not just a business, it's a family. So I've spoken to a lot of you about how you're going to continue during these times. I know a lot of you are looking at how you can offer the lessons online and try and continue to have that connection. I know a lot of you have been looking at the Zoom platform. Zoom is a platform that I've used quite extensively over the last few years as part of our corporate operations. We do a lot of corporate videos throughout the year when we're not filming dance concerts. So I thought I'd do this video just to maybe give you some tips. I know a lot of you have already looked into it and you've already started. So hopefully this video might help you a little bit. So if you're looking at using the Zoom platform or some other platform to offer your lessons online, I thought probably there's two different options that could work quite well. The first one is to pre-record the lesson and then have a Zoom meeting where you can share your screen, and then the students, they can watch the lesson because you're sharing your screen as you play the video, and you can watch them through the Zoom meeting, and then after the lesson is finished or halfway through the lesson, you can stop the video and you can interact. They can ask questions or you can do a chat window. That way there's a bit less stress in having to deliver everything there live. You can actually have your lesson all well prepared, pre-recorded and ready to go. Another option is to actually do the whole thing live there. Probably a little bit more stressful for some of you. But I know some of you have already started doing this and it might work very well. The other area you might need to look at is the sound. If it's possible for you, I would invest in a small USB audio mixer. You can plug a microphone into it, like the lapel microphone I'm using now, and two other line feeds. Then you can mix the sound levels so that you have a balance between your voice and the music. DJ City sells this one for $97. But do some searches online and see what else is out there. If you can afford to, I would look at trying to get a better camera than the one on your laptop. There are some good quality webcams out there at places like Officeworks, or a proper video cam would help even more if you pre-record your lesson. Try and get some good lighting. An LED panel like this is perfect. This is a really tough time for all of us. So we've got to stick together, help each other, support each other. Please hang in there. We will get through this. If I can help in any way, please give me a call or email. Just call me on 0413 754343 or email david@itsproductions.com.au.